right, good morning, everybody. Morning. Thank you. So welcome to our 2024 annual meeting, and I'm going to call this meeting to order. And I don't have my gavel, but I'm going to slam. So, on behalf of the Board of Directors, I want to officially welcome you to GSEP's 2024 annual meeting. I am Nicole Levine, the Chair of the Board of Directors. And it's hard to believe it's been a whole year since I was elected to your board chair at our last annual meeting. It's been an honor to serve in this role and to see our mission in action from that vantage point for the past 12 months. So thank you for allowing me this privilege. So this is my first annual meeting that I'm presiding over, and I'm thrilled to welcome so many Girl Scouts and their families today. We appreciate you all joining us in person at Camp Shelly Ridge this morning. So I'm going to ask Girl Scout Senior and Girl Delegate Sarah Adewale to join me at the podium. Sarah is a 10th grader at Pennsbury High School in Bucks County, and her goal is to be a trifecta Girl Scout, as she has already earned her bronze and silver award and is now working on gold. I'm going to turn the mic over to Sarah for the flag ceremony.
Please rise for the flag ceremony. Girl Scouts, attention. Color Guard, attention. Color Guard, advance. Color Guard, present the colors. Please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join me in reciting the Girl Scout Promise. On my honor, I will try to serve God and my country, to help people at all times, and to live by the Girl Scout law. Please join me in reciting the Girl Scout law. I will do my best to be honest and fair, friendly and helpful, considerate and caring, courageous and strong, and responsible for what I say and do, and to respect myself and others, respect authority, use resources wisely, make the world a better place, and be a sister to every Girl Scout. Color Guard, post the colors. Color Guard, honor your colors. Color Guard, dismissed. You may be seated.
Thank you, Sarah, and all of the girls in our Color Guard. It is always good to be reminded of what makes our organization unique, and the promise and law offers us a strong foundation for how we treat our sister Girl Scouts and all members of our communities. I'm going to let our CEO take command of the podium for our mission moment. Kim?
First, I just want to say Carla Hickey is like a genius. because there's a secret on the next few slides that she paper clipped so that Nicole wouldn't see it. Just like, I love it. And it's orange, of course. Okay. Thank you, Nicole. And I'm going to ask Ellen Yopst, chair of our property committee, to come and join me at the podium. The Governance Award recognizes a volunteer who has provided outstanding and consistent dedicated service to the policy area of the council. And this year we're going to celebrate two women who have had a tremendous impact on our council through their efforts on the property committee. We are very honored to present this year's GSEP Governance Award to Nicole Levine and Ann Donnelly. And I'm going to ask Ellen to come say a few words.
As the current property chair, who immediately succeeded Nicole in this role, I can assure you I have big shoes to fill. Nicole and Ann, who served as the last two property committee chairs before me, have both played integral roles in the 7-year process that led to Girl Scouts of Eastern PA to securing $3.8 million conservation easement at Camp Laughing Waters. Because of their leadership and commitment, GSEP created partnerships with the local townships, the state, and another organization dedicated to land preservation. Generations of Girl Scouts are now guaranteed to be able to continue to enjoy our camp while conserving land and open space to provide a habitat for native plants and animals for years to come. Nicole is, of course, our board chair and has served on the board for 7 years. Professionally, she is the first female chief operating officer of PICO, and we are incredibly fortunate that we are able to benefit from her expertise. Thank you, Nicole. Ann, who many of you have worked with over the years, is a vice chair of the board and co-chair of both the Alum Committee and Adult Weekend Committee, plus she is a national volunteer partner for GSUSA. Thank you, Ann. We are extremely indebted to both of you for sharing your guidance and loyalty to our mission. GSEP is a better place because of you.
We are so lucky to have Nicole and Ann as part of our GSEP sisterhood. Please join me in another round of applause for our Governance Award recipients. Just giving Nicole a second to take a deep breath and come back to the podium.
Carla. I was about to remove that paper clip. I'm like, why is that here? And I have my glasses. Thank you all. That was an honor, and I really appreciate it. And it's been an honor to be able to do things that are going to have lifetime impact in such a great organization. So thank you. So, and Ann says ditto. Mary? So, talk about, needing a second to take a breath. I would like to introduce our parliamentarian for today, who so many of you will recognize, and our good friend, who is appropriately named Mary Scout. Mary will now share an overview of the parliamentary rules we will be using at our meeting today. And Mary had a little snafu with her transportation here this morning, so we'll give her a couple seconds to come up to the podium here.
My apologies, I'm never late, but I took public transportation and missed the stop completely. Well, it's very nice to be here again. It's such a beautiful place, and I'm glad it's not raining on you for your program. The application of parliamentary law is the best method yet devised to enable assemblies of any size, with due regard for every member's opinion, to arrive at the general will on the maximum number of questions under varying complexity in a minimum amount of time and under all kinds of internal climate, ranging from total harmony to hardened or impassioned division of opinion. That is, that these rules are based on the regard for the majority, the minority, individual members, absentees, and of all these together. My role as parliamentarian for this meeting is to give advice to the chair and, when requested, to any other member. After the parliamentarian has expressed an opinion on a point, the chair has the duty to make the final ruling. In doing so, has the right to follow the advice of the parliamentarian or to disregard it. When you wish to speak, please raise your hand or stand, and after being recognized by the chair, state your name and service unit. Please address your comments to the chair and not to one another across the room. Everyone may speak twice on an issue or motion, but you may not speak a second time until everyone who wants to speak a first time has had an opportunity to do so, and then you may speak a second time. We will be using a motion known as unanimous consent. This motion is used to move the business along when the chair realizes that there is mostly general consent or agreement, and she will say, if there are no objections, we will state the action and pause. When she pauses, that's the time for you to object, and if there is an objection, she will put it to a voice vote. If there are no objections, she will say, hearing no objections, then the motion is carried. If there is any time that you don't understand what is being voted on, please stand and ask for a clarification. It's very important that you understand what is happening. If you don't understand whether it's appropriate to make a motion or to ask a question, just ask and we'll be happy to help you. If you want to make a motion, we will be happy to help you word it. And I look forward to working with you this morning. And again, my apologies for the delay.
Thank you, Mary. We are happy you were able to join us here today. So now I'm going to introduce Joanne Gonzalez-Generals, Secretary of the Board, who will report on quorum.
Okay. Madam Chair, our bylaws require 40% or 66 of our delegate council members to be present in order to conduct business. I am happy to report that we have 83 voting delegates present and have reached quorum. Yes. We appreciate your presence with us in person today, your service as service unit delegates and girl delegates in partnership with the board and the BDC are truly the foundation of the governance of this organization. We also have 172 additional Girl Scouts and visitors here today at Daisy's Place at Shelly Ridge. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Joanne. So we now have quorum, and we can now conduct business. So we have a number of items to cover today, and these include voting on today's agenda and the minutes committee members, election of candidates for board members at large, girl advisors, BDC, and girl delegates. And I'm going to establish 2 basic ground rules for today. Debate and/or discussion on any topic will be limited to 2 minutes per person, and each person may not speak a second time until everyone has had an opportunity to speak once. Does everyone understand and/or have any objections to these rules? So hearing no objections, we will proceed with a 2-minute per person time limit and limiting each person not to speak a second time until everyone has had the opportunity to speak once. Our next order of business is to approve the agenda for today's meeting, which is shown on the screen as well as your printed program. As we informed you in the official notice emailed to you on April 4th, this year's annual meeting involves our traditional subjects, including approval of our agenda, minutes committee, and tellers. You will then hear a short governance report from me, our treasurer's report from our CFO, and the management report from our CEO. The Board Development Committee will then ask for approval on the proposed slates for board members at large, girl advisors, BDC members, and girl delegates. Last but not least, we will recognize our top cookie sellers and scholarship recipients. There are a total of 5 items to be voted on today. Approving the agenda will be the first vote of the morning. Are there any questions about the agenda? All those in favor of approving the agenda as shown on the screen and printed in the program, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. The ayes have it, and the agenda is approved. So I don't have my gavel. Our next order of business is the approval of the minutes committee. As we do not meet again for this year, this committee is asked to review the minutes and approve them in a timely manner on behalf of the delegate council. Are there any questions about what the minutes committee does? Okay. I ask that the minutes committee volunteers please stand as I call your name. This year's minutes committee members are all current service unit delegates or alternate delegates. Beth Gutierrez, please stand. Linda Lane and Phoebe Ann Wagner. We will now officially vote to approve the members of the minutes committee. All those in favor of approving the minutes committee members, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Once again, the ayes have it, and the minutes committee is approved. Thank you. Thank you for serving in this capacity. The next order of business is to appoint our tellers. To ensure transparency and ownership by volunteers of the voting process, I appoint tellers in case of contested voting results to ensure accuracy in the final count. Please stand when I say your name. I am hereby appointing Linda Mills as head teller and Michaela Havers as teller. Miss you, Michaela. Both women have been involved with Girl Scout governance for a number of years. Linda was a longtime service unit delegate and alternate, as well as a member of the Bylaws Revision Subcommittee. In addition to serving as a girl delegate and girl advisor, Michaela is also a governance volunteer with GSUSA, serving as a member of both the 2023 and the 2026 National Council Session Advisory Task Forces. Thank you, ladies, for agreeing to serve in this capacity should the need arise, and you may sit down. And thank you to all of our delegate council members for approving the administrative tasks so quickly and efficiently. So now on to the governance report. I will give a quick recap of our delegate meetings this year, including an update on the 2023 National Council session and recognizing a few special people. One of the highlights of my first year as board chair was to also serve as a National Council session, or NCS delegate. The national equivalent to our annual meeting, the NCS is held every 3 years. Last July, myself, along with my 15 sister NCS delegates and 3 NCS alternates, traveled to Orlando for 3 long and intense days of business meetings, followed by 3 days of girl programming and fun activities. We also brought a number of staff and the top 6 cookie sellers, so GSEP was very well represented. We were joined by almost 1,000 other NCS delegates from across the country and around the world to listen, discuss, debate, and vote on matters of importance which impact our entire movement. We discussed NCS proposals that passed at the Fall Delegate Council meeting last October, but I want to offer a quick recap because I am very proud of our council's delegation in submitting and presenting a successful proposal. Remember, we are one of 111 Girl Scout councils, and there are literally about 1,000 NCS delegates at this meeting. So the fact that GSEP had one of the 7 proposals is very impressive. And I would like to say I think we were the most prepared as we proposed our, that's just a side note. Our proposal was to update the Blue Book, which is our national governance document, to allow for virtual attendance, which we thought was a very simple concept. And I'm very proud of my sister NCS delegate, Chris Reber, who's here today. Hi, Chris. As she spent 2 minutes at the podium in front of the 1,000 plus attendees explaining our proposal and rationale. Although there may have been more substantive proposals to vote on, our proposal took the longest to discuss, more than 4 hours. And Deb warned me as I was getting ready to go that we could have some lengthy discussions on some of the proposals. But ultimately, our proposal did pass with only minor edits from our original submission. So here are the other proposals which were accepted by the NCS delegates. First was the creation of a donor-restricted fund in support of Girl Gold Award scholarships. This was already in the process of being created, but is now codified in the Blue Book. 2, the number of NCS delegates each council is allocated will now be based on the girl membership numbers in September 2 years before NCS. And this means we will learn this fall how many NCS delegates GSEP is entitled to elect at next year's annual meeting. And then 3rd, adding anti-racism language to the Blue Book. This proposal also took some time to debate, and the delegates really wanted to add actionable language to hold ourselves accountable. The final version can be seen on the screen. In addition to voting on proposals, we also voted in members of the National Board of Directors and the National Board of Development Committee. I would like to point out two special people: our National Board President, Noran Khan, who's in the circle, and a new member of the National BDC who is very familiar to all of us, Debbie Hassan, our former board chair, and she got a big pink arrow pointed at her. And I'm excited. I'm going to board training next week, and I'm going to get to see Noran again, so I'm looking forward to that opportunity. I just think she's amazing. We also participated in breakout room discussions on national governance topics, including how to ensure NCS delegates have a voice and a platform outside of the triennial meeting. GSUSA heard us loud and clear that members across the country want to be heard and also want to participate in more ways than a 3-day meeting every 3 years. GSUSA has created a movement governance advisory team that will create ways to keep us engaged and informed. Later this calendar year, applications to become a delegate for the 2026 NCS will open, so we will share more details in the fall. And this is our national news overview. So I also wanted to share a brief synopsis of our 3 delegate council meetings that we had during the 2023-2024 governance year here in Eastern Pennsylvania. At each of those meetings, we share national governance news, and we have strategy discussions on pertinent governance topics, both local and national. As you can imagine, last October, the primary focus of our delegate council meeting was sharing the news from NCS, which you have now heard about again. We added a 3rd delegate council meeting this year in January because our service unit delegates and our girl delegates told us last year that they wanted to learn more about the board and governance in general here at GSEP. Our new winter delegate council meeting showcased and explained our board committees and the work that they do all year round. And at last month's spring delegate council meeting, we instituted a best practice where we learned at the 2023 NCS, which was a virtual Meet the Candidates forum. And there were some really cool videos that were showcasing some of our newer proposed board members. Looking ahead, we will be discussing the 2026 National Council session at the Fall Delegate Council meeting in October. But if you or your service unit have any questions or want to suggest a topic for this October's meeting, please email governance@gscp.org. Before I turn the meeting over to Mike Vanek for the Treasurer's Report, I have 2 special announcements. I want to publicly acknowledge our gratitude to the 4 board members who have come to the end of their terms on the board: Joanne McFall, Susan Mucciaroni, Shelley Smith, and Allison Snyder. Can you stand up? Thank you. Thank you. Joanne McFall has been a very dedicated member of the board for the past 6 years. She is a member of the Community Excellence Committee and has been a warm presence at many GSEP events, including the Silver Award Ceremony, Gold Award Ceremony, Top 100 Cookie Sellers Celebration, and Volunteer Awards, just to name a few. Susan has served on our board for the past 9 years as both a member at large and first vice chair. She is also the immediate past chair of the Board Development Committee. Susan has deep Girl Scout roots, having served on another Girl Scouts board as well, so we are fortunate she will remain part of our Girl Scout sisterhood. We will also say a fond farewell to another homegrown Girl Scout alum, Shelley Smith, who is always proud to share her fond memories of Camp Laughing Waters. She is the chair of the HR committee and has been a source of wisdom in that arena. And our last board member, who is coming to an end of her 3rd term, is Allison Snyder. She has also been a member of the HR committee and has been involved with the Take the Lead Berks for many years. First an honoree, and then as co-chair and committee member. She is a lifetime member, so I'm sure we will continue to benefit from Allison's dedication. Thank you all. And I also want to let you know how much the board has appreciated Layla, Emma, and Annika, the girl advisors for the 2023-24 governance year. We celebrated them at the board meeting prior to this meeting, but I want all of our attendees to know what wonderful, engaged young women we had working with us this year. So thank you again, ladies, for sharing your perspectives and all of your hard work this past year. So finally, I want to say how proud I am to serve as your board chair. This first year in office, I have seen firsthand the phenomenal efforts of our girls to make the world a better place, while also witnessing the fun and sisterhood they have enjoyed while making that impact. The world is in good hands. They could not achieve their leadership potential without the adults in this building. The parents, the families, troop leaders, the other volunteers, and the GSEP staff that all work together to create a huge caring and encouraging network. Your dedication to supporting our girls in their leadership journeys is a powerful statement to the strength and long-lasting impact of community. Thank you for all you do to ensure that our council continues in our mission of building girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place. Thank you to all of the adults. So the next order of business is the treasurer's report, and our treasurer, Marlene Beers, was unable to attend due to her son's college graduation. So it's a good excuse. So our CFO, Mike Vanek, will present the treasurer's report on her behalf. Mike?
Thank you, Nicole. And yes, that is me up there waving hello to everybody and good morning, in case you can't see me up here. I am here today to report on the state of our finances. Girl Scouts of Eastern Pennsylvania has a fiscal year that ends on September 30th, and all the financial results that I will be talking about today will be for the year end September 30th, 2023. Each year we engage an independent CPA firm to audit our financial statements and to review our internal controls. And for fiscal year 2023, I am pleased to report that our auditors have completed their audit and have issued an unmodified or favorable opinion and found all of our financial statements to fairly represent our results for the year, which I will be discussing in my treasurer's report. So let's take a look at the first chart. The first chart shows revenue and expense. Revenue is what comes in from cookie sales, contributions, camp, and other fees. Expense is what goes out to pay for things like girl programs, camp costs, salaries, benefits, facility costs, etc. When revenue is greater than expense, we say we have a surplus. When expense is greater than revenue, which we don't want, we say we have a deficit. Surpluses are good because it means we have money left over after paying all our bills. Each bar in this chart from 2018 to 2023 represents the total revenue for the year, broken down between earned revenue, which is in light green, and that includes our cookie sales, our camp and program fees, facility rentals, our retail revenue, etc., and contributed revenue, which is in dark green on the bottom, which includes our individual donations, our grants from corporations and foundations. And then we also, during the pandemic, received government grants. Organizations like Girl Scouts received these grants to help cope with the adverse financial impact of the pandemic. Provided certain criteria were met, these grants did not need to be repaid. So you will see in 2021 and 2022 There are medium green amounts reflected at the top of the charts that represent those grants that we received in the amounts of $1.6 million in 2021 and $1.2 million in 2022. The red squares at the top of the columns represent our operating expenses for each period. For 2018 through 2020, we had surpluses in each year. The green bars a little higher than the red boxes. In 2021, however, that was the first full year of the pandemic, and we had a deficit, even including forgiveness of the government pandemic grant. In 2022, we returned to generating an operating surplus with the help of the government pandemic grant. In 2023, our surplus was generated from operations without the benefit of such a grant. Please turn to the next chart. The second chart shows what those surpluses and deficits were from 2018 to 2023. Cumulative surpluses from 2018 to 2020 and 2022 to 2023 totaled $2.9 million. The deficit in 2021 was $571,000. The surplus funds were more than enough to cover the deficit we experienced in 2021, and we still have over $2.3 million remaining. The next three slides will show information about our 2023 fiscal year. Please turn to the next chart. This slide shows the 2023 operating revenue, what comes in, broken down by source. Cookies and fall product program net of costs of goods was 76% of our revenue. Program service fees, including camp and girl programs, was 10%. Contributions, bequests, grants, and events was 9%. And merchandise sales and other represented 5% of our revenue. Our total operating revenue of $19.5 million was more than the prior year by 7.7% or $1.4 million. The increase was attributable primarily to the cookie program, which generated $2.3 million more in net revenue from cookie sales in 2023 compared to the prior year. All the other revenue lines also exceeded the prior year by a combined $300,000. These increases were offset by a reduction of $1.2 million in funds that we did not receive in 2023 from the government pandemic grant, which we did receive in 2022 but ended. Please turn to the next chart. This slide shows the 2023 total expenses, where our money is spent, broken down by category. 35% of our expenses went towards girl programs, 28% to member services, 20% to camp programs, 9% to general and administrative expenses, and 8% to fundraising. Our total expenses of $18.7 million were more than the prior year by 10.6% or $1.8 million. $500,000 of this increase was attributable to the increased expenses related to the cookie program and $1.3 million for increased costs related to mission delivery, member services, and financial aid. Over 83% of our total annual expenses went towards programs and services for our girls. Over the past 8 years, the percentage of our total expenses spent on our direct girl programs has gone up, increasing from 72% in 2015 to 83% in 2023. Ensuring that our resources are moving our mission forward is a key objective to our transformation strategy. Please turn to the next chart. Product program represents 76% of our total revenue and is comprised of cookie sales and fall product program sales and related expenses. Of the $19.95 million in total gross revenue, $19.3 million was from cookies and $640,000 was from fall product sales. The cookie program is the largest girl-led business in the country, helps girls develop 5 essential skills: goal setting, decision making, money management, interpersonal skills, and business ethics. The product program's 2023 gross revenue was $2.7 million more than the prior year. This increase was primarily attributable to a $1 per box increase in the price of the cookies in 2023. 25% of the revenue goes back to the baker to pay for the cost of the cookies. Over 74% of the gross revenue from product program sales directly benefits troops, service units, and all the Girl Scouts of Eastern Pennsylvania, with the remaining 1% going to other direct costs of the programs. Last year, $3.78 million was directed back to troops and service centers, and $750,000 was used for recognitions, including Older Girl Travel, Adventure Credits, Cookie Boss, and the 500 Club. Please turn to the next chart. This is our 2024 budget. A budget's a plan for the upcoming year in which we forecast what our revenue and expenses will be. Both revenue and expenses are projected to increase compared to prior years. The primary driver is a projected increase in girl membership. This will be the second year of a return to a somewhat normalized operations after 2 pandemic years. We are expecting to service more girls in 2024 than we have in the past 4 years. The 2024 budget includes increases in revenue and with anticipation of more girls participating in the cookie program, attending camp, and other girl programs. The 2024 budget also includes increases in expenses related to the cookie program, primarily in the cost of goods to pay the baker, troop support, and incentives and appreciation. Overall, we expect total revenue to exceed total expenses, resulting in a budgeted surplus of $250,000 for 2024. Please turn to the next chart. Notice on this chart that our years of surpluses from 2018 to 2023 were more than enough to offset the 2021 deficit. Also note that the budgeted surplus in the far right bar is expected to be $250,000. However, for the first half of fiscal 2024, October of 23 through March of 2024, our actual results have been worse than budget by about $563,000. This shortfall is primarily due to the cookie program falling short of expectations. Total cookie sales revenue fell short of the budget by more than $1.2 million due to less girls selling than we budgeted for. However, expense favorability in other areas did help to make up more than half of this sales shortfall, but we will be faced with the task of making up this deficit over the remaining 6 months of the fiscal year. For the second 6 months of the fiscal year, we will have to act on certain contingencies and look for ways to still deliver our budgeted surplus. We will manage our expenses prudently, making decisions during the next 6 months to get back on track with our budget. This concludes the Treasurer's report. Are there any questions? Okay. It is now a pleasure to turn the meeting over to Kim Freitas-Dow, our CEO, for her management report.
Thank you, Mike. Hello, Girl Scouts. The rain held off, but the sun stayed away, so I'm sorry it's chilly, but there are blankets for sale right up there. I seriously almost bought one for this. We're so excited to be here with you this morning, sharing this day with you, reflecting on membership year 23, and taking a moment to feel a sense of gratitude for this incredible movement we're a part of, and the enormous investments you all have made in continuing our important mission. You have all received a copy of the annual report, which covers in detail the accomplishments and challenges we faced together in membership year 23. Today I'll cover some highlights, and I hope you will come away with a sense of confidence, pride, and purpose toward our community of Girl Scouting and how you can continue to make a positive impact. As you may recall, and for those who are new to this, our strategic plan includes 4 pillars of excellence: strategy and new markets, member and community excellence, operational excellence, and functional excellence. And we will start with strategy and new markets. In membership year 23, we focused on a community-based strategy across our 9-county footprint and building new troops through a school-based approach. GSEP started membership year 23 with 55% of its annual girl membership already registered. We analyzed communities where we served a lower market share of girls, and we identified the community of greatest need as the city of Philadelphia. We restructured staff so all our communities had support, adding team members who live in the community that they are serving. Over membership year 23, we achieved a total of 41% membership growth across Philadelphia compared to the prior year. The success resulted from increased local recruitment efforts and the launch of the first ever Girl Scouts Day Camp in Philadelphia. The camp quickly filled its 500 plus available spots and had a waiting list of more than 100 girls. We coordinated a council-wide campaign in January through March with the goal of engaging schools and community locations like libraries. We focused on grades K through 3 to ensure families that may not have had the opportunity to join Girl Scouts during the COVID-19 pandemic had an easy path to get engaged. Our goal was to recruit 1,500 girls. At the end of March, we had recruited 2,066 girls in 362 existing troops and 22 newly formed troops in the spring. Next is member and community excellence. In membership year 23, GSEP girl membership was up 12%, finishing the year at 25,178 girls. Adult membership was up 6% to 9,598, and lifetime membership was up 4% at 3,487. With this membership growth, Girl Scouts of Eastern Pennsylvania was the 6th largest Girl Scout council in the nation, serving 5.5% of the available girl population. You can see detail about our membership also in the annual report. We developed a new focus on regional programming to make sure programs and events were available for Girl Scouts across the council footprint. Programs were planned proportionally based on the number of girl members in an area and with the 4 program pillars in mind: outdoor, STEM, life skills, and entrepreneurship. Hopefully you've all begun to see increased programming being offered in your communities. The membership year 23 fall product program exceeded goal by almost 14%, with Girl Scouts selling $644,305 worth of nuts, candy, and magazines, a 24% increase over last year's gross sales. More than 2,370 Girl Scouts took part, an increase of 16% over the prior year. For those of you who are still on the fence about trying this program, because it is 100% digital, it is the easiest fundraising program imaginable for girls and troops. After the setup, there's little work to no work for the girls to do, and we encourage everyone to try it this coming year. The cookie program, as Mike said, saw a record high. The per girl average was 269 boxes, slightly below 2022's number of 294. 77% of registered Girl Scouts participated, or 14,313. By comparison, in the previous year, 75.7% of registered Girl Scouts participated. Now, while the season was a success from a revenue standpoint, it had many challenges. Some we continued to experience this year. GSUSA launched a new cookie. I almost don't even want to talk about this. The Raspberry Rally, which was available to customers only online, not at traditional cookie booths. This caused confusion for the consumer and frustration for our Girl Scouts. Additionally, bakers did not keep up with demand, which led to negative feedback from troops and Girl Scouts and dissatisfaction from some customers. Girl Scouts of Eastern Pennsylvania ended up with a glut of leftover inventory. Details about the cookie program can be found in the annual report, as well as recognition for our top cookie sellers. Fundraising at GSEP met 95% of its overall goal. Take the Lead fundraising reached 118% of its goal. GSEP hosted its first inaugural Golf for Girl Scouts event at Stonewall Golf Club in Chester County, which raised $42,000 and introduced the organization to many new members of the community. United Way efforts surpassed their fundraising goal, and individual giving reached 96% of its goal. GSEP was chosen to participate in a workforce development grant along with 5 other Girl Scout councils through the Department of Labor to increase employment opportunities for girls from historically underserved populations at our camp properties. Corporate and foundation grants missed their combined goal by 40%. Retail introduced 2 new concepts, Luella, the mobile shop van, and Build-A-Bear workshops at Shelly Ridge. Next is operational excellence. GSEP celebrated 572 Bronze Award Girl Scouts and held in-person award ceremonies for 135 Silver Award Girl Scouts and 63 Gold Award Girl Scouts. We piloted Philly Camp, a day camp held in 4 locations across the city of Philadelphia: Northwest, Center City, South, Northeast, and North. GSEP's 4 resident camps and 3 day camps served close to 3,700 Girl Scouts during the summer. There were 1,502 registrations for day camp and 2,164 registrations for resident camp. Girl Scouts Beyond Bars, a program for girls whose mothers are or have been incarcerated, served 27 girls in 2023. That year, events for GSBB included wildlife exploration and overnight camping at Camp Shelly Ridge. The Women's Leadership Summit featured an incredible keynote speaker, Tina Wells, who shared her elevation approach toward achieving work-life balance. GSEP volunteers spent the day investing in themselves and spending time with each other. It was an inspirational day for those 75 volunteers who attended, some of whom were here. GSEP attended the Girl Scouts 56th National Council session held in Orlando, which Nicole spoke about. Our 16 delegates and 3 alternates were joined by 11 staff and our top cookie sellers. Also, the next NCS takes place in 2026 in Washington, D.C. Adult Camping Weekend, organized by GSEP's Alumni Association, was a big success in August of 2023, with 150 participants attending from across GSEP's footprint as well as far beyond. In total, the event raised more than $23,000 for older girls' scholarships, and the recipients will be featured later in today's program. Also, if you're interested in attending, it did sell out last year, so sign up early. Our fall adult leading and learning event held at Camp Laughing Waters served 124 participants from all over GSEP for a day of learning, networking, and fun, and there were more than 30 workshops for attendees. The Volunteer Awards ceremony recognized 52 volunteers and 13 service units for their exemplary service to Girl Scouting. There were 12 numeral guard, let's say that fast together, numeral guard picks awarded, totaling 585 years of collective service to Girl Scouting. 8 service units received the CEO Award, which recognizes their efforts to achieve the Council's goals and objectives of service, learning, and growth in membership year 22. Please take note that a listing of volunteers who received awards is now in the annual report as well. If you received a volunteer award this past year, please stand to be recognized. Functional excellence. The operating budget was bolstered by the success of the cookie program and the 3 Take the Lead events surpassing goals. Both helped to put GSEP in a great financial position for the second half of the year. While GSEP camps did not reach their budgeted attendance goal, corresponding costs were also considered, and the impact was able to be absorbed. Thank you, Mike, for your detailed treasurer's report on behalf of Marlene Beers earlier in the program. Human Resources was incredibly active recruiting and onboarding new positions for the 3-region structure. For FY23, GSEP planned for 84 full-time and 9 part-time positions, and the bulk of the hiring was done during quarters 1 and 2. GSEP hired Sophia Lee as Chief Administrative Officer, overseeing human resources and property, and Mike Pompey, Chief Information and Transformation Officer, managing IT, business analytics, and member support. With the leadership of Mike Pompey, GSEP experienced increased momentum, moving toward a more technologically mature and optimized state. A few notable achievements include completing major projects outlined by the IT Strategy Committee, started by interim CIO Fari Azad and chaired by board member Fusoon Bubernak. These projects emphasizing Microsoft cloud technologies and improved security offerings. Data and business intelligence platforms have also seen positive changes, making it easier for us to get invaluable insights. We've hired new staff to ensure we provide the best possible value for both our internal teams and external customers. Renewed attention to both member and customer support applications and processes has led to real improvements and has strengthened collaboration among our teams, increasing opportunities for troop placements in our local areas. Several new capital projects at GSEP camps provided significant improvements to the girl experience. Camp Moseywood received the replacement of 2 large, beautiful decking systems for 4 platform tent sites at Stonewood. Camp Shelly Ridge received a new roof for the service center, the addition of a Clevis Multrum bathroom facility at the site of our new platform tent unit, as well as new picturesque window in the loft space of Smith Lodge, where we're going to have lunch later. Camp Laughing Waters received a brand new horse barn and extensive renovations to the interior and exterior of the health center. General maintenance projects were performed at Camp Shelly Ridge, Valley Forge, Moseywood, and Woodhaven, and a maintenance vehicle was also purchased. During membership year 23, GSEP secured a commitment of $125,000 for the Girl Adventure Plays campaign at Camp Mountain House from Senator Nick Miller. Additionally, solicitations are pending for Camp Shelly Ridge for second phase of the capital campaign to access the southwest area of the property, for a new well and swimming pool at Camp Woodhaven, and for the ongoing Girl Adventure Plays campaign for Camp Mountain House. It's with great pride and gratitude to all of you, our board development committee, delegates, volunteers, Girl Scouts, and talented GSEP staff that I shared these highlights for membership year 23. We were able to complete the Camp Laughing Waters easement this membership year and also recently received the approvals that we've been waiting for several years from the DEP for Camp Mountain House. We look forward to sharing more about the progress we're making in the coming months, and we cannot wait for summer camp. A special thank you again to our National Council session delegates who did an incredible job preparing for the session and also representing GSEP beautifully at the event. I'll pause here to see if anyone has questions for me about the report I just shared. Okay, now I would like to welcome Debbie O'Brien, the first vice chair of the board and the chair of the board development committee, who will present the BDC report, including the 2024 slate of candidates for board members at large, girl advisors to the board development committee members, and girl delegates. Debbie?
Thank you, Kim. Good morning, everyone. First, I want to reintroduce the Board Development Committee, or BDC. The 4 members on the BDC are myself as chair, Ann Baum, Joanne Gonzalez-Generals, and Miriam Hsu. And there are 5 non-board members on the BDC: Laura Azulina, Michelle Box, Sandy Faust, Catherine Epps Robertson, and Deb Walters. The BDC has been working this year on updating our approach to identifying, recruiting, and confirming potential board and BDC candidates. We have focused on daily data analysis of demographic profiles to ensure that our entire council is well represented on the board and on the board committees. Plus, we've been identifying the skills and resources the board and committees need, which can help build a stronger pipeline. We've also held one-on-one feedback conversations with each and every board member to learn how their experience on the board can be improved. The BDC has 4 slates to present today: board members at large, girl advisors to the board development committee members, girl delegates. This year, we have 3 board members at large being re-elected to a second or third term. And we have 5 nominees for the board member at large being elected for their first term. As you saw on the previous slide, we have 9 members of the BDC, but only one of us is at the end of a term. So there is only 1 nominee for re-election to the BDC. Plus, we will be electing 3 new girl advisors and 30 girl delegates. The 4 respective slates and the biographies of the nominees for board members at large, BDC, and girl advisors were included in the official notice emailed to the delegate council 30 days ago, and they can also be found in the annual meeting program. I will review the respective slates and present them to our board chair for the vote. Before doing so, I will remind you that our bylaws state in Article 5, Section 7C, nominations from the floor must have been submitted to the Board Development Committee Chair at the Council office at least 7 days before the annual meeting. We did not receive any nominations from the floor except for the final candidate for Board Member at Large, who will be nominated by the BDC, as that notice was received in time to meet the requirement. She will be voted on at the end of the board slate. Therefore, I will present the 4 new nominees first, followed by the 3 board members up for re-election, and then the final candidate. On behalf of the BDC, I'm now going to present the slate for board members at large in alphabetical order, and the first 4 alphabetically are all up for their first terms. So I will start with Crystal Ashby, Harris Bach, Stacy Broad, and Diana Cortez. And up for re-election are Judy Fryer, Ellen Yobst, and Jennifer Dempsey Fox. Madam Chair, I present the slate of the board members at large.
Thank you, Debbie, and Abe brought me my gavel so I can stop using my ring. So our bylaws in Article 2, Section 11 provide that election will be by ballot in contested elections and maybe by voice or other methods in uncontested elections. This is therefore an uncontested election, and we will vote by voice and a show of hands. All those in favor of electing the slate of members at large as presented by the Board Development Committee, please raise your hand and say aye. All those opposed say nay. The ayes have it, and the members at large are elected. Congratulations to everyone, and a special welcome to Crystal and Diana, and a welcome back to Harris and Stacy.
Thank you, Nicole. Madam Chair, as I mentioned, we also have a nomination from the floor. I'm going to ask Sister BDC member Joanne to present this candidate. Joanne?
Thank you, Debbie. Article 2, Section 8 of our bylaws require that the official notice of the annual meeting be sent out 30 days before the meeting, and it has to include the slate of nominees for all positions. The BDC has discussed, vetted, and approved a final candidate for the slate of board members at large. We were awaiting confirmation of her acceptance when the official notice had to be emailed, so the notice was sent out without her name. She has since confirmed her acceptance, and an amended slate was sent to the Delegate Council, along with the updated bios of all the candidates, including our newest nominee. However, after consulting with a parliamentarian, we determined that this final candidate should be considered as a nomination from the floor. Madam Chair, on behalf of the Board of Development Committee, I am pleased to present you with the final nominee for the open board member at large seat, Christy Barnhart.
Thank you, Joanne. So before we move on to this vote, I want to ask if anyone has any questions about the explanation or the process. Okay, we can continue with the election. All of those in favor of electing Christy Barnhart to the board, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. The ayes have it, and we now have all 8 of our board members at large are now elected.
I am now proud to share the slate of girl advisors to the board. Girls, when I state your name, can you please join me in the front of the room? Lindy Arnold of Montgomery County, Maya Derer of Berks County, Berks County, and Marissa Maizano, who lives in Philadelphia. Their bios are in the annual meeting program, so you can see how accomplished they are already as high schoolers. Thank you. Madam Chair, I will now ask for the vote on this slate.
Hey, girls. How are you? So, all those in favor of electing the girl advisors as presented by the Board Development Committee, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Was there an nay? The ayes have it. The ayes have it, and the girls' advisors have been elected. And congratulations, ladies. I'm really looking forward to working with you this year. And our CEO will present you with the new Girl Advisor pin for your vests.
Now for the slate for the Board Development Committee. As I mentioned, there is only one BDC member at the end of a term, so we are presenting Laura Azalina as a nominee for her 3rd term. Madam Chair, may I present the slate for the Board Development Committee?
Thank you, Debbie. So, all those in favor of electing the Board Development Committee member as presented by the Board Development Committee, please say aye and raise your hand. Aye. Thank you. All those opposed, say nay, and please raise your hands. Thank you. The ayes have it, and the Board Development Committee member is elected.
The final slate to be presented is the girl delegates for the 2024-2025 governance year. As we explained at the Spring Delegate Council meeting, these young women applied for this position in January, and a suggested slate was created by the Girl Governance Subcommittee after an extensive review involving scoring, demographic data analysis, and intense discussions. The suggested slate is then presented to the Board Development Committee for final approval. Before sharing with you the Delegate Council. I'm proud to share the slate of girl delegates for the 2024-2025 term to be elected at this annual meeting. They will serve a 1-year term beginning at the close of this meeting. Nominees, please come up to the stage and form a line as I call your name. For the position of Girl Delegate for the 2024-2025 term, starting at the conclusion of this annual meeting, Sarah Awadala, Falasaid Beckett, Keturah Burns, Gina Bertolato, Haley Califano, Brianna Culbreath, Sarah Davis, Ashley East, Margot Ferreira, Charlotte Hiscott, Richada Jane, Hayden Jebitz, Mila Kent, Lily Keenan, Lisa Malone, Bhavika Mara Bathlu, Marid Menard, Anwita Mananada, Caitlin Orkin, Leah Ponsner, Miranda Reed, Jade Robinson, Ishita Saxena. Sorry, some of these pronunciations are not in here. I apologize in advance. Sanvi Shah, Catherine Spies, Anika Surich, Sydney Vance, Caitlin Wascavage, Alexa Weatherwax, Madeline White. Madam Chair, I present the slate of the girl delegates to you.
Thank you, Debbie, for presenting this slate. All those in favor of electing the girl delegates as presented by the Board Development Committee, please raise your hand and say aye. Aye. Wonderful. All those opposed, please raise your hand and say nay. The ayes have it, and the girl delegates are elected. So I would like all of the elected board members at large, girl advisors, board development committee members, and girl delegates to stand and be recognized. So thank you, Debbie, and the entire BDC for your work this year on developing the 4 slates of exceptional women and girls and Harris. So I would like to introduce you to my sister board members, Terry Boyer and Bumi Ojikuto. And Terry is the chair of the Community Excellence Committee of the board, and Bumi is a member of that committee. They will be sharing one of my favorite parts every year, the names and successes of our top cookie sellers.
Thank you, Nicole. We are very excited to be with all of you in person. As you all know, the Girl Scout Cookie Program is about more than just cookies. Participation in the cookie program provides girls the opportunity to develop 5 key skills: goal setting, decision making, money management, people skills, and business ethics. This year's cookie program started with a terrible weather weekend. I'm sure those of you who were selling will remember that. But the girls rallied and turned their sales skills on full blast so they could reach their personal and troop goals. Girls, we are incredibly proud of all of you. On behalf of the Girl Scouts of Eastern Pennsylvania, I would also like to say a sincere thank you to the service units, troop leaders, and parents and guardians who supported the girls to make this year's cookie program a success. Now it's time to announce the 2024 top 3 sellers by age level. As we read your name, we ask that each girl come up on stage to receive a certificate from our CEO and get your photo taken.
We have a tie for our 3rd highest daisies. Liliana Kroll of Troop 9576 in Delridge Service Unit with 1,500 boxes. And Amari Thomas of Troop 919 in Buttons and Bows Service Unit, also with 1,500 boxes. The 2nd highest selling daisy, Aria Smart of Troop 9115 in 3 Leave Service Unit with 1,851 boxes. Our highest selling daisy, Charla Graham of Troop 91477, also in 3 Leave Service Units, with 2,142 boxes. Girls, you did an amazing job this year.
Now the brownies. The 3rd highest selling brownie is Jordan French of Troop 5408 in the Radnor Service Unit with 2,533 boxes. The 2nd highest selling brownie is Lily DeCrosta of Troop 2531 in the Oxford Valley Service Unit with 3,515 boxes. And the highest selling brownie is Courtney Love Braswell of Troop 9889 of the Buttons and Bows Service Unit with 4,002 boxes. Fantastic work, girls.
On to the juniors. The 3rd highest selling junior is Emily Henry of Troop 1315 in Kutztown Service Unit with 2,287 boxes. The second highest selling junior is Macy Brown of Troop 91200 in 3 League Service Units with 2,403 boxes. And the highest selling junior is Kira Thompson of Troop 5115 in Friendship Hollow Service Unit with 5,578 boxes. Wow, what great selling skills, girls.
Our cadets are next. Third highest selling cadet, Amber Thompson of Troop 548 in Friendship Hollow Service Unit with 5,585 boxes. Our second highest selling cadet is Scootaloo Laudenslager of Troop 6169 in the Allentown Service Unit with 5,933 boxes. And the highest selling cadet is Deanna Stubbs of Troop 91326 in the 3 Leaves Service Unit with an amazing 8,378 boxes. Very impressive this year, ladies.
For seniors, our third highest selling senior, Sydney Brown of Troop 768 in Norrington Forge Service County with 2,244 boxes. Our second highest selling senior, Brianna Calfano of Troop 5047 in Interdelco Service Unit with 3,500 boxes. And our highest selling senior is Chloe Thompson of Troop 5130 in Friendship Hollow Service Unit with 5,497 boxes. Remarkable effort, ladies.
And finally, our oldest girls, the ambassadors. Third highest selling ambassador is Kira McCarran of Troop 5913 in Interdelco Service Unit with 2,000 boxes. Our second highest selling ambassador is Sonari Herbert of Troop 9020 in the 3 Leaves Service Unit with 3,478 boxes. And finally, Kayla Everett of Troop 9629 in the 3 Leaves Service Unit with 5,854 boxes. Thank you, ladies, for all your dedication this year.
Finally, We also want to shine a spotlight on the top 6 cookie sellers in the entire council. For their achievement, they will get to enjoy a fantastic trip to New York City. These 6 girls alone sold, are you ready? 36,825 boxes. Woo, we got a clap for that. Their phenomenal efforts do need to be applauded. In ascending order, we're celebrating the 6 extraordinary entrepreneurs. First, we have 3 sisters, Amber, Chloe, and Kyra Thompson, who collectively sold over 16,000 boxes. Just picture their family house in February. And Ambassador Kayla Everett. You here? All right. And Cadet Scootaloo Landerslager. And our top-selling Girl Scout, Cadet Deanna Stubbs, with a phenomenal 8,378 boxes. Deanna was also our top cookie seller last year, and this year she sold almost 300 more. I can't imagine what she's going to be selling as a Girl Scout ambassador. Congratulations, ladies, and have fun in the Big Apple. We're turning the meeting back to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Boomy and Terry. And a special thanks to our 19 of our top cookie sellers, especially our Super 6 top cookie sellers. But I would be remiss if I didn't take the time to acknowledge and thank another vital group that is key to the girls' successes, the adults that lived for weeks and weeks with stacks and stacks and stacks of boxes and cases of cookies in their homes and garages and minivans and etc., and our troop leaders and parents. So if you're a troop leader or a parent or a guardian of a Girl Scout who sold cookies this year, please stand up. So hopefully you looked around at all of the people that were standing because you are in very lofty company. You are also the heroes who deserve to be celebrated because you are the ones who motivate and support our girls in their quest to be successful entrepreneurs. Thank you for being the girls' cheerleaders, coaches, Uber drivers, bakers, pack horses, delivery drivers, and general support staff. Thank you. So we now have our final group of girls to recognize, our award and scholarship recipients. For this portion of the meeting, I will now turn the mic over to Ann Donnelly and Deb Walters, who are the co-chairs of Adult Camping Weekend, an annual event that raises money for the graduating senior scholarships.
Thank you, Nicole, and hello, everybody. We would like to start off with the Union League of Philadelphia Good Citizenship Award. This recognition offers awards for Girl Scouts in their junior year of high school who have shown marked evidence of good citizenship. Girls who were selected to receive the award attended an event called Good Citizens Day, hosted by the Union League of Philadelphia in March. On that day, they networked and attended educational sessions where they learned about the U.S. Constitution before participating in debates on current topics, such as free speech on college campuses. The group then visited the National Constitution Center, where they enjoyed an exhibit on the 19th Amendment granting women the right to vote. Finally, they also went to a session with a Stanford University professor on free speech on social media. And in the evening, they attended the banquet where they celebrated being chosen to receive the Good Citizenship Award. 18 girls were nominated for the Good Citizenship Award by Girl Scouts of Eastern Pennsylvania this year. In alphabetical order, they are Rowan Carmichael, Olivia Derone, Maya Derer, Anjali Ganta, Virginia Hayes, Maya Hudson, Monica McKnight, Emily Mullen, Tanishta Pawar, Emma Shivert, Kaylin Steck, Gianna Stoltzfus, Anika Suresh, Stella Tucker, Vashti Valentine, Ruchi Vibhandik, Faith Washington, and Charlotte Williams. All of these girls will be eligible to apply for a $5,000 college scholarship from the Union League of Philadelphia next year during their senior year of high school. Good luck, girls, and thank you for representing GSEP with such courage, confidence, and character. Let's give them a round of applause. The next portion of the ceremony will recognize the girls who are receiving scholarships. The scholarship committee reviewed applications from 28 girls who applied for 7 different types of scholarships. Each award or scholarship has different criteria, requirements, and application processes. Girls, when we say your name today, please come up to the front so we can acknowledge your achievement personally and hand you your certificate. Before we celebrate the 19 girls who will receive these awards, I would like to ask all members of the scholarship committee in attendance today to stand up. Ladies, thank you. The Dottie Martin Educational Scholarship and Destination Fund recognizes a girl who has been active in Girl Scouts and exemplifies courage, confidence, and character, just like Dottie did. This year's recipient is Marianne Lashinsky. The Kiwanis Scholarship recognizes a graduating Girl Scout ambassador who has made a difference in her community through a leadership project. This year's Kiwanis Award recipient is Emma Smirk. The Janet and Solomon Eschner Scholarship provides funds for continuing education to one Girl Scout ambassador from Philadelphia who is graduating from high school. Janet A. Eschner was director of Camp Indian Run before she was appointed as the youngest elementary school principal in the city of Philadelphia. She values the positive impact a camp experience can have on girls, and she appreciates the importance of education. Janet A. Eschner established this endowment in order to make college more affordable to girls with leadership potential. We are pleased to announce that Ashley Johnson will be receiving the scholarship. The Elizabeth G. Dorsett Memorial Scholarship was established to fund higher education, college, trade school, technical school, for a graduating high school senior. This award recognizes the recipient's high academic achievements and her leadership involvement within the community. The recipient must also be a Gold Award Girl Scout. This year's recipient is Ashley Hames. We would now like to announce the girls who will receive the Girl Scouts of Eastern Pennsylvania Graduating Senior Scholarship. This scholarship is fully funded through the Alum Committee's Adult Camping Weekend held every August, which Deb and I co-chair. Thank you. The number of graduating senior scholarships that are awarded each year is determined by the amount of money raised at the previous year's event, as well as by how many girls apply. I'm proud to announce that we raised enough funds to recognize 19 young women with the Girl Scouts of Eastern Pennsylvania's Graduating Senior Award. These girls demonstrate leadership, involvement within the community. The money is to be used toward continuing education. Each girl will receive an award of $1,000. Please come up to the podium when your name is called and remain on stage for a group photo. The 19 girls receiving this scholarship are Mia Adams, Abigail Betts, Kellyanne Catagna, Andela Dozier, Kayla Everett, Annika Grasso, Leah Gray, Ashlyn Hames, Ashley Johnson, Sarah Kelly, Isabella Krautheim, Marianne Lashinsky. Cammie Merrigan, proud mamas, good thing. Sienna Powell, Charlotte Rissmiller, Grace Skeet, Emma Smirk, Caroline Wark, Bryn Wisniewski, let's recognize all of our scholarship recipients again.
Thank you to Deb and Ann, and there's not many slots left, right, for this year already? 23 beds. 23 beds left, so get to Deb or Ann if you're interested this year. With money. A big debt of gratitude is also due to the 12 scholarship committee members who reviewed all of those applications. Thank you for your dedication to ensuring our girls succeed in the future. And we have just a few more items on our agenda. So we have celebrated a lot of different people and groups today, not knowing that I was going to be one too. I'll know in the future when Carla has something marked off in here. I might need to peek. One cohort that I want to especially recognize is our lifetime members who are champions of girls for years to come. They are dedicated to the Girl Scout movement and to the mission. So can I ask everyone who is a lifetime member to please stand up and stay standing? As lifetime members, you ensure that Girl Scouts will always have the support they need to reach their full potential and change the world. And thank you for making the world a better place. Also, later this month, we are going to hold our Silver Award and Gold Award ceremonies. In addition to the young women being celebrated in a few weeks, I also want to acknowledge that those girls are joining a long green line. There are literally thousands, actually millions, of girls and women who have learned lifelong leadership lessons through earning the highest awards in Girl Scouting. So that everyone can see how ubiquitous female leadership is in our council, I'm going to ask that each group stand up and be recognized. Will everyone who earned their bronze award, girls and adults, please stand? Congratulations. Will everyone who earned their silver award, girls and adults, please stand? Thank you for your leadership. And then will everyone who earned their gold award, or first class, or curved bar, as it used to be known, please stand? Thank you for your commitment for making the world a better place. So just a few announcements before we adjourn. And when I looked at the pack earlier this week, I told Carla, I'm like, there's no way we're going to get through all this in 2 hours. And she's a magician and right on time here. So there are a number of incentives to renew early. For example, if girls renew by May 15th, they will receive these cute friendship bracelets and Year of Adventure patch. There is also an incentive for service units. There is a cash incentive for service units who will renew at least 50% of their girls by June 30th will receive the equivalent amount in cash. We hope that all of you will renew today. I'm also inviting our families to consider camp as a life-changing adventure for your daughters. There are still sessions that have openings at all of our camps, and there are also a few new programs that were just scheduled, including new activities for daisies. The final reminder of the morning is for all of the service unit delegates and alternates and SUMs in the audience. Now is the time to elect new or re-elect current service unit delegates and alternates. Our governance year runs from one annual meeting to the next year's annual meeting. So everyone's term for this governance year will end in 3 minutes. Therefore, we are asking you all to hold your service unit elections in the spring and summer so that our delegate council can be in full force and complete at the October delegate council meeting. My final message today is to thank all of you for attending and keeping Girl Scout governance vibrant, inclusive, and participatory. This officially concludes the 2024 annual meeting. Thank you again for joining us in person. You are all invited to join us for lunch over at Smith Lodge. We'll be enjoying Deck's Barbecue, and the ice cream truck is back again. And please stay for the after party. Safe travels.